laying the groundwork. They continue to make major moves. Now the talks are Kelsey Plum is on the trade block. They're looking to move off of Kelsey Plum. She's only under contract for this season. They are so bad to the point where she might not want to come back, and they don't want to just lose her for nothing. They could be gaining assets through trading Kelsey Plum that could help them land.
The entire corporate infrastructure of professional sports has officially entered a state of unmanaged nuclear meltdown, and the global basketball community is currently paralyzed in absolute terrifying shock following the most aggressive, highly classified executive leak in sports history. What was engineered behind closed doors as a multi-million-dollar empire-building play has officially bypassed every single league non-disclosure agreement. The Los Angeles Sparks are currently executing an absolute hostile takeover of the entire league, initiating a multi-million-dollar blockbuster trade to move five-time All-Star Kelsey Plum in order to clear immediate salary cap space, liquidate major assets, and build a massive untouchable empire entirely around the generational phenom, Caitlin Clark. But as this atomic blockbuster deal was being finalized, the ultimate corporate war broke out. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White has officially stepped in to block the trade, screaming on record that she will absolutely never allow this transaction to go through. But the definitive truth has just leaked. Caitlin Clark is officially done with Stephanie White's management, refusing to play another single minute under her restrictive system, and the countdown to the total destruction of the Fever's organization has officially reached zero. The era of silent athlete compliance is dead. The legal compliance networks are fracturing under immense public pressure, music, and the definitive shift in global sports power has officially begun. To understand why this unprecedented blockbuster trade is the most dangerous chess move ever witnessed in professional sports, we must look at the brutal cold-blooded mathematics of the Los Angeles Sparks front office. Sparks leadership realized that to acquire a generational asset like Caitlin Clark, they couldn't just offer standard trade packages. They had to create an undeniable resource-heavy environment that no superstar in their right mind could refuse. In a shocking midnight decision, the Sparks placed multi-time champion and elite guard Kelsey Plum on the trade block. By trading away Plum's expiring contract and massive market value, the Sparks didn't just clear astronomical cap space, they completely cleared the runway for Caitlin Clark to arrive as the undisputed absolute ruler of the Los Angeles franchise.
Dang. The LA Sparks are going to end up getting Caitlin Clark. He wasn't pulling it out of thin air, and you see them making moves as we speak. You saw them go and sign Kate Martin. Now, take a look at this. Head coach Lynn Roberts is going to get fired. I'm just putting it out there. I'm letting y'all know now. I know she's going to get fired. She knows she's going to get fired. Kelsey Plum's about to get traded. It's a bunch going down. Take a look here. This is Lynn Roberts. They asked her about her job security, being that the GM just got fired. You're going to want to stick around. I got a bunch in this one. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think we underachieved last year, and this year's still going. We tripled our wins last year from the year before. I think, for where we want to get, that's not where we want to be. But, tripling wins from one year to the next in my first year, I don't think that's underachieving. This year, we have not hit our stride. We've played one game with everybody on our roster healthy. We've been injured all year. Hopefully we can get KP and Cam back. Our whole system's designed.
The Sparks are systematically dismantling their old roster to build a customized, fast-paced West Coast empire designed specifically to maximize Clark's historic court vision and unlimited shooting range. This is a hostile, top-down reconstruction that has completely paralyzed executive boardrooms across the country, proving that the Sparks are willing to sacrifice absolute legends just to secure the future of the sport. The mainstream media is desperately trying to spin this as a standard roster adjustments, but the financial blueprints tell a completely different story. This is a calculated corporate raid designed to establish the first-ever trillion-dollar women's sports dynasty on the West Coast, and nothing can stop it. But as the paperwork for this historic transition was being finalized by league compliance officials, a massive administrative wall was slammed down by Indiana head coach Stephanie White. Recognizing that losing Caitlin Clark would permanently liquidate her own career, her franchise's billion-dollar valuation, and her remaining administrative authority, White launched a desperate, unhinged campaign to veto the entire transaction. Internal leaks from the secure Indiana facility confirmed that White held emergency, screaming phone calls with league executives, aggressively citing contract clauses, transfer regulations, and legal technicalities to block Clark's path to Los Angeles.
So I'm I'm not even close to thinking that we are underachieving at all.
Now, she knows her job is on the line. She's about to get fired. The LA Sparks are 10-12. They're not going to make the playoffs again under her. She knows she's on the way out. Take a look at this. Sparks coach shuts down brutal season. And this is the key part where she tried to say, oh, we're one game out of the playoffs. It says that's the goal, the plan. We'll get healthy. I'm not buying into the narrative that we're having some brutal season. This is a process. We've had adversity. Lynn Roberts is going to get fired, you guys. I'm letting that be known right now. And they are looking to move Kelsey Plum. You got all the fans already blasting Lynn Roberts. Now, I'm telling you the moves that they are continuing to make. Take a look at this here. The LA Sparks practice facility in El Segundo construction update. State-of-the-art facility expected to open in 2027. So they're going to have a brand new facility here in Los Angeles. And this is going to be big because Caitlin Clark is going to have, she's coming from a brand new state-of-the-art facility in Indiana that they built. She's also going to be in one when she eventually gets to LA if this thing goes down. Now, that is another move that they're making. New facilities. They're going to get a new coach, a new GM. They're going to bring in a whole new infrastructure around this deal. I'm telling you, man, they
White publicly and privately declared, I cannot and will not allow this franchise to be stripped of its crown jewel. But her desperate power play has completely backfired on her. Instead of keeping Clark under control, this hostile blockade has triggered a massive player mutiny inside her own locker room. The illusion of coaching authority has been completely shattered, and the entire basketball community is now witnessing a raw, unfiltered battle of wills between a desperate coach trying to save her job and a generational superstar who has officially decided she is done being held hostage by mediocre leadership. The public backlash has been immediate and devastating, with millions of fans demanding White's immediate removal for attempting to sabotage the natural progression of the sport.
It would make sense to at least hear what other teams are saying. The answer is still ultimately no.
What team would go to get Kelsey Plum right now and they could just wait?
Indiana could make the move. Well, Indiana might not make the move, but a winning team could make the move. A Golden State Valkyries could use a Kelsey Plum. You get a bunch of picks and young assets from the Valkyries, and then you use those picks and assets to go and get Caitlin Clark.
Because like initially, I think quick shout out to Hunter Cruz, who did like a trade piece not too long ago, mentioned the Golden State Valkyries as a Kelsey Plum team. And I was like, you know what? Would be a fascinating fit. You just need like a pure, we need an actual number one scoring option. It's like, you know what? That would make some sense.
I like the idea of Kelsey Plum. I like the idea of Kelsey Plum and the Golden State Valkyries. If I'm the Golden State Valkyries, we are the 3 seed, one game out of the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. We can deal with that later.
I mean, look, the talks are heating up. Kelsey Plum, you're either going to lose her in the offseason for nothing, or you can get something, you can get assets for her now. I don't see.
The catastrophic reality that Stephanie White refuses to accept is that Caitlin Clark has officially checked out of the Indiana system permanently. Behind the scenes, the relationship between the superstar and the coaching staff has suffered a total irreversible rupture that no amount of public relations damage control can fix. For months, Clark endured music, passive-aggressive press conferences, restrictive offensive playbooks, and a complete lack of organizational protection against on-court physical targeting. But with the Los Angeles Sparks offering a golden path to global dominance, Clark has officially exercised her massive cultural leverage. Sources close to her camp confirm that she has delivered a cold-blooded ultimatum directly to ownership. She will not take the floor. She will not participate in promotional campaigns, and she will not cooperate with the current coaching regime under any circumstances if this trade is blocked. Clark has completely bypassed Stephanie White's authority, dealing directly with high-level investors and league partners to ensure her escape to the West Coast is executed. The power balance has officially inverted. The player now dictates the terms, and the coach's desperate attempts to block her are only accelerating her own career destruction.
Seasons, just rough decision-making process from the Dominique Malunga trade for Kelsey Plum, giving up Sarah Ashley Barker, trading Rakia Jackson for Errol.
Yo, that GM that got fired made some horrible moves. How do you give up Sarah Ashley Barker who you took in the top 10, who was balling, played well as a rookie. Now she's a starter. She's a starter in Portland. You gave up Rakia Jackson. Granted, she tore her ACL after, but giving up Rakia Jackson for Ariel Atkins, that GM had to go. That's crazy work.
Atkins giving out all of those bad contracts, just down the board, a lot of bad decisions from that front office. So we'll see what the direction is at the deadline. If I had to imagine, this is an ownership decision. If ownership believes that Kelsey Plum is not coming back and they want to pivot from here, they want to move into like more of a rebuild, a retooling period without Kelsey Plum, get younger, get off of these long-term deals, then why not trade her now? 1-year deal, you trade a lot to get her, the number 2 overall pick. So if there's going to be a trade that's going to happen, who could do it? The one team I look at as a serious contender for this is the Golden State Valkyries. Golden State's roster is so well built around not having a number 1 option. They have Gabby Williams, who's a great player, but not your number 1. Veronica Burton, a lot of wings, Cecilia Zandolazini, Janelle Salon. They got the defense too with Kia Stokes at the 5. They have a lot of defense, athletes, wing.
We are officially standing at a historic definitive turning point that will permanently alter the landscape of professional women's sports forever. The old guard, represented by desperate coaches trying to force generational talent into compliance, is being violently crushed by the sheer economic and cultural force of athlete empowerment. By sacrificing Kelsey Plum and offering an undisputed empire to Caitlin Clark, the Los Angeles Sparks have established the ultimate blueprint for the modern sports era. Will the league's front office step in to force Stephanie White's resignation before the entire Indiana franchise faces a total fan?
A friend of mine, and I care about her, and this is the hard part in sports, right? But right now I'm just, focused on the team.
Sense of urgency kind of heightened, or has it already been kind of there already?
Like, what do you mean?
The sense of urgency of like.
I mean, we've had the sense of urgency all season. We've had just peaks and valleys with how we've played and who we've had active and injured and stuff. But I feel like we're playing.
Now, Lynn Roberts, she understands the pressure is on her as a coach because there's no guarantee that you're gonna like make it. There's no guarantee that this ownership group is gonna keep you around. The ownership group may be scouring around for a coach that already has a great relationship with Caitlin Clark. They're gonna be looking to make a partnership. And I think, listen, man, things are happening behind the scenes. I 100% believe things are happening, and there's a chance that this thing could take a turn. Okay, this is courtesy of ESPN. It says the Sparks, they missed the playoffs the last 5 seasons and are currently 10-11, just out of playoff in 9th place. They're coming off consecutive victories, though, having defeated Indiana Wednesday and Chicago on Friday. It says the assistant GMs will take over. Okay, and this thing is